So, today is also the feast day of Saint Dionysius, and I'll be talking about who he is and how he influenced the world. So, let's get started. Saint Dionysius, the Areopagite, was a disciple of Saint Paul, converted to Christianity when the latter preached his famous sermon on the Areopagus, Acts 17. An important figure in the life of the early church, Saint Dionysius traveled with Saint Paul and was present at the Dormition of the Theotokos. He continued his missionary activities after Saint Paul's martyrdom, traveling to Western Europe, where he was eventually martyred in Gaul. Saint Dionysius was often accused of representing a Neoplatonic interpretation of Christianity. Generally speaking, the writings of Dionysius have been in the Orthodox world the grounds for the affirmation of the active presence of God in the life of the Church and in the world. After the death of the Apostle Paul, Saint Dionysius wanted to continue with his work and therefore went off preaching in the West, accompanied by the presbyter Rubiscus and Deacon Eleutherius. They converted many to Christ at Rome, and then in Germany, and then in Spain. In Gaul, during a persecution against Christians by the pagan authorities, all three confessors were arrested and thrown into prison. By night, Saint Dionysius celebrated the Divine Liturgy with angels of the Lord. In the morning, the martyrs were beheaded. According to an old tradition, Saint Dionysius took up his head, proceeded with it to the church, and fell down dead there. A pious woman named Catula buried the relics of the saint. The story of Saint Dionysius has a deep symbolic resonance for those of us who are seeking to recover a more pre-modern or symbolic understanding of the world, particularly the bosom of traditional Christianity. It has been noted in many places that the rejection of a sacramental or symbolic understanding of the cosmos by the Protestant reformers birthed secularism, and the accompanying estrangement of our spirituality from the world around us. Some hold that the rot set in farther back, placing its genesis in the debates about the nature of the Eucharist and the consequent decoupling of symbol and reality, which took place in Western Europe during the final centuries of the first millennium. The Church continues to celebrate the feast of a historical Saint Dionysius each year, and even allowing for scholarly tension surrounding the authorship of the Dionysian corpus, the Church nonetheless remembers these important works in the context of the feast. By celebrating him as the author of these works, the Church shows us that they are not the disembodied theology of a Neoplatonist, nor the writings of a crypto-pagan, but part of the tradition of the experience of God, which has been embodied in a specific historic community. Thus, at Vespers, on the eve of his feast, the Church proclaims, having entered the mind into the innermost darkness of the unapproachable light, thou didst learn the divine enigmas of the Word, O sacred Dionysius, disciple of Christ, and on earth thou didst manifestly explain the ranks of the angels. The divine Paul, speaking forth publicly, fished for thee with the hook of grace, O wise one, and made thee a teacher of the sacred mysteries and the beholder of ineffable things, seeing in thee a chosen vessel. With him dost thou pray, O right eloquent Dionysius, that those who hymn thee with love be saved. In the Church, the head and body of Saint Dionysius are reunited. For those of us who seek to recover a symbolic understanding of the world, the story of Saint Dionysius offers the only real long-term solution to the disembodiment which we have inherited from our culture. So I hope you liked this video, and for the ones that are being celebrated today, I pray that you will receive all the love, grace, support, health, wealth, and courage that you deserve. And please go check out the other videos that were published today so you can learn more about what else is being celebrated today. Thank you, and have a good rest of your day or night wherever you are.